Hello, my name is Camilla Aaron, or Camilla Margot, whichever you know me as. I'm going to be talking today about something that is important to me, and I'm going to be addressing, to start off this video, I will be addressing some of the rude comments that I've received in my past few videos. I'm going to give my response in a polite manner and try just to debunk a few things and explain my side and to show receipts. I get some weird questions that are a little bit inappropriate, or just flat out rude. And I know that in my real life, I am 110% accepted as a woman in the workplace. When I go out, I haven't been called he, him, or sir in over a decade. And I'm going to explain that everything from my breasts to everything you see is all natural from hormone replacement therapy. I did not have a boob job, no breast augmentation. The second thing I want to share with YouTube is I am a female. So a lot of people make this. I had a comment where on my sex as a trans woman video that so basically it's just two guys, one with long hair. My sex on my license, I've blocked out private information. I am legally a female. So my name is legally Camilla, and my sex is legally a female. So I am legally a female, and I've done this through reaching maximum medical improvement. So my gynecologist who treats me for my gender dysphoria writes a letter of maximum medical improvement. And in simple terms, that means that I have gotten to a level that I cannot reverse, and that beyond gender reassignment surgery, I'm not going to feminize any more than I have. I can have more surgeries on my face or have gender reassignment surgery, but I just wanted to show that I am indeed, my sex is female. When I'm being intimate with a man, it's not two gay men with one having long hair referring to me. No, I do not wake up with morning wood. And I'm going to explain that as well. But anyhow, I'm going to talk about intersex. And what is intersex? Well, intersex is a term that's politically correct for people who are hermaphroditic or hermaphrodites. I was born a hermaphrodite, and my parents did not know I was hermaphroditic until much later in life. I had terrible colic as a baby, so around the age of 1 to 2, I had a lot of abdominal scans. And that is where they found later in life, just about a year and a half into me being born, they had seen some abnormalities in my pelvic region. As I got older and went on cross-sex hormones, female hormones, being on them for several years allowed proper development. So I was born with a condition called persistent Müllerian duct syndrome. This is basically the result of a SRY gene abnormality / mutation in my genetic makeup. I do have XY chromosomes, but the one difference is a SRY gene abnormality / mutation. So it's a genetic mutation. As a result, I was born a crypto kid. So that means that my testicles never fell out of my Müllerian ducts. AKA, you could punch me or kick me in the groin, and I wouldn't feel anything more than the impact on my body. I wouldn't, because my testicles are inside my body. The other thing that I'm going to mention about this is that my penis never developed properly. So my penis is the same size as it was when I was 10 years old. I've never been able to use my penis for penetrative sex, and I have had to sit to pee my whole life. So I cannot stand and pee. I have to sit. So I just wanted to talk about that with YouTube because I have a lot of rude comments. And if you're going to comment hateful things that are just pure ignorance, I'm making this video to enlighten people so there is less ignorance. But if you're just being bashful and being ignorant in my comments, yes, I've deleted your comments. And I'm going to continue to do that because I'm trying to create an educational space for transgender people and for non-trans people to understand trans matters and educate you. I understand that humans cannot change their sex. If you were born a male at birth, you can go on cross-sex hormone therapy, get a sex change surgery, and have all the facial feminization surgeries and breast augmentation. You will always be a genetic male. As for trans women, trans men, they are born a female and they will forever be a natal female because you cannot change your genetics. And I'm very aware of that. People make comments on my channel, so I'm just coming back at you to show you that I'm not bullshitting anyone. I'm just here to try to help the trans community and also to help enlighten the non-trans community on trans issues. Being intersex, I saw it as a curse, and I didn't know that I had a condition. My parents never told me until around puberty. So with persistent Müllerian duct syndrome, it's something I suggest you Google. There's about 30 main intersex conditions. There's a lot more than that, but about 30 main ones. And persistent Müllerian duct syndrome, there are fewer than about 250 people in the world at any given time with the condition that I have. So I understand I am an extreme outlier in the fact that in a way I was born both male and female at birth. Now, I do not understand non-binary people. I respect them, but I don't understand how a person go by they, them when they're a singular person. I'm not non-binary, but if I had to label how I was born, it was almost as if I was born both sexes, hence me being able to change my letters, my sex from M to F on my license, because I am legally a woman. So sex with me, the act of it, I spoke on my last video, yes, it is gay in nature, but it's I guess like the overall atmosphere is completely different, and the fact that the men that I have slept with or dated in my life are straight or bisexual men, and having sex with a trans woman or an intersex trans woman, the act of sex is going to be limited to anal sex until I have gender reassignment surgery and have a vagina, and I most likely am not going to get that surgery. There's a lot of complications. I'm at risk of losing my ability to orgasm, and I'm at risk for so many issues that it's probably just not worth it to me. So I understand 2 penises and anal sex. It's gay. I get it. I totally do. I totally get it. I'm not disagreeing with anyone that comments. But coming on your my channel just to hate me and to be rude, of course I'm going to call people out and talk about it. This one guy commented, do I wake up with morning wood? I never have woke up with morning wood in my life. I don't know what that's like. I'm sorry. I'm an intersex person. And here's a little interesting fact about intersex, or is they were called hermaphroditic people, is that we're about as common as redheaded people. So every time you see a redhead, chances are you have the same probability of seeing an intersex person, a hermaphrodite, in real life, but you probably would never know it. In fact, in real life, like I work a job in customer service in which I deal with hundreds of people a week. I'm called ma'am for everything. I have never been called sir. I am born both, and I identify as a female binary. This gender journey for me has been very bumpy, but probably the best decision I made for myself and my life. And because I have a condition, my specific persistent Müllerian duct syndrome is a lot less common than like Klinefelter syndrome, or for people who are born female at birth, it's called partial androgen insensitivity syndrome, and that is where a natal female is born without a uterus and without ovaries, but she is born with internal testes. So Google partial androgen insensitivity disorder. There are people who are born with a vagina that have testicles inside their body. And there are people like myself who are born with a penis, a micro penis, but inside I do have a uterus and fallopian tubes. I do not have ovaries. So that's the only difference. And I'm a cryptor kid. My testicles never descended, and I have a microphallus, micro penis, which means that my penis has been basically the same size since I was a child. And I'm explaining this to educate people on the fact that some transgender people transition for the reasons that I did. Internally and mentally, I'm a female. And I wanted my outside to represent what I feel on the inside. So taking cross-sex hormones is my only means, because without ovaries, I cannot produce very much estrogen naturally. If you were born a cis man, a regular man, you also have estrogen in your system, just not very much. All men have estrogen, and all men have testosterone. They just have a lot more testosterone than estrogen. And all females have testosterone, but their primary is estrogen and progesterone. So there are people that are born that are would consider medically abnormal or an outlier on the gender spectrum or the intersex spectrum, and I fall way closer to female. So that's the reason that I chose to live my life as a female. And as I said, intersex people, hermaphrodite people, are just as common as a redheaded person. There's not many redheaded people compared to people with blonde or, of course, brown or black hair. But there are redhead people born, obviously. So about the same rate of people, or people that are born, intersex people, excuse me, I'm getting hung up on my words. Intersex people are about as statistically common as a redheaded person. And basically, intersex means that you have a genetic mutation in your chromosome. So there are some people with XXY or XYX, or there are men that are born with XX chromosomes that are born with a penis, or there are women born with XY chromosomes that have a vagina, but or have different endocrine system variations or issues which they have to seek treatment for that most of their life. And unfortunately, a lot of hermaphroditic intersex people are operated on at birth to try to figure out the doctor, basically, when an intersex child is born. Some hermaphroditic people have both sets of genitals, and they do what's called, how do I say it, a karyotyping test to find their genetic makeup and assign them surgically a gender upon birth. So within a few days of being born, their parents or their doctor picks whatever gender this child is going to be born as. My parents left me alone, and as I grew older, I made my own decisions to live as a female. Even though I was born male, in most senses with having a penis, I do have a female reproductive system. It's partial, but it does exist. That's being intersex. And one of the downsides of being intersex is, I would say, over the past 5+ years, like 5 years and moving forward from that, so maybe like 2018, 2019 to current, you have a lot of transgender people or people that are faking being transgender for sexual purposes, claiming that they're intersex. And we have a lot of people trying to justify their transitions because they are intersex. And that gives a bad rap on intersex people, and also just makes the trans community look bad. So I try to be very upfront with people in my videos and educate properly that there is a difference between being born a cis male or a cis female and an intersex male or an intersex female. I was born an intersex male, but I live my life as a female because internally my predominant reproductive system is my female reproductive system. And I do have some natural estrogen production, higher than the normal assigned male at birth, cisgender natal male, but lower than a cisgender natal female. So I'm somewhere there, kind of in the middle. And like I said, there's about 30 main conditions. I would say the most common condition is called Klinefelter syndrome. And if you have questions about this, please comment. I'd be glad to try to answer. And Googling to educate yourself on transgender and intersex people. I would say a big majority of people that transition 2019 moving forward are doing it for the wrong reasons and may not have medical gender dysphoria. And gender dysphoria is why transsexual people medically transition. Um, People that transition for the wrong reasons end up detransitioning always. So you have to transition for the right reasons, or you're going to throw away, at least a couple years of your life trying to change just to revert. And that's why we're seeing exponentially high levels of detransitioners, is because the transsexual community called itself transgender and let everybody under the umbrella, non-binary people, trans masc, trans femme. It should be a trans woman or a trans man. We have all of these people who have infiltrated the transsexual community and bastardized or tarnished our reputation, and it may take us another 15 years to recover from what TikTok has done to the youth and to young adults, and even fully grown and later in life adults that decide one day they're just going to change their sex. Most people don't wake up one day and just decide they're going to change their sex. They've suffered emotionally for as long as they can remember. And if you've suffered feeling incongruency from inside to outside your whole life, I suggest talking to a therapist that can point you in the right direction of someone who specializes in treating people with gender variations or gender dysphoria so that their transsexuality can be treated. It is treatable. But this video is more of a response to all the hate, criticism, and rudeness that I see, and I doubt you'd say that to my face in real life. And I'm going to conclude this video with thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps my algorithm grow. I'm trying to enlighten the world and trans people and non-trans people that transsexuals are real. It's a medical condition. And don't make fun of them and don't roast them in comments because you're just being an asshole. And no one likes assholes. Thanks.